All right, welcome to another screencast here. We're going to talk about minor thirds, flat thirds, in this video. So I'm using A as the example note here, or example root note. And again, the reason I'm doing that is that we have this octave shape here on the first three strings, and the same two notes kind of going up the neck here, and it's a good note to just sort of demonstrate all the 7 octave shapes as they're going through the 5 different pattern areas. Okay. So let's bring up the flat third. Okay. So this can in this talk that you can apply this to minor chords or minor scales, and also sharp 9. You could use this to work on the sharp 9 as well. So keep that in mind. I'll mostly just kind of be talking about this flat third, but sometimes when we have a major third in here, let's say, put a 3 in here, you might have a sharp 9. Let's say we have flat 7, for example, and you want to play, let's say this chord here, in A7, sharp 9, which you could play this in a few different string combinations here. I'll put this next one way up here so it's a good separation in between. So A7, sharp 9. So anyway, I thought I'd go over that, but we're mainly going to be talking about the flat third, so we can think about that location as the sharp 9 as well. All right, so let's kind of build this up. So I'm going to place an A here on the third string and the first string. So we've got that first octave shape there. And so we've got a flat 3 back here. Okay, so that's an option. And then we've got the flat 3 over here. So this tends to be a pretty comfortable spot to play through to stay in one position. All right, so we looked at kind of the spaces here. Let's take this root note down here. So this is the unison for this fourth string. We've got 7th fret there. Okay. But before I do that, let's go back to the third string here and just talk a little bit about, since we're thinking about position 2, we've got this third here, a flat third below, so that's the location below those 2 notes there. And yeah, then just keep in mind, this is our position here, sort of 2 full octaves of A. Okay, so now I'll bring this back over here to the 4th string, 7th fret. And so this is where the flat third is located nearby. Okay, and then I'll place one below our octave shape and one above our octave shape. Okay, like that. And I'll even just put in another A, an octave below. Okay, so you could see we have those shapes kind of interacting there. Okay, so let's keep working up. So we're gonna move this note here, same note here. We're moving to the second string, 10th fret. And so we'll move this note here, it's flat third. We'll move that over here. Okay, so a nice comfortable spot. So one hand position here, 7th position, we can play through this. So let's add the flat third above here and below the octave shape. So we're looking at something like that. So oftentimes, kind of the point of watching this, or one takeaway from this, is to think about if you have an A chord or you're in the key of A, you may not necessarily be holding these down, but you might want to visualize where they are. And then if you're playing the flat third, just kind of noticing the distances between the flat third and the octave shape there, or the notes of the chord or tonic note. All right, so let's move this note on the 4th string to the 5th string, 12th fret. And so we've got, we can leave that flat third in the same place, so nice comfortable place to play this. And this flat third, you know, we could use this in a diminished chord, a half diminished, full diminished, fully diminished, or a minor chord. As a few examples. Okay, so let's add in. We can pretty comfortably have a flat third above the octave shape here. Could also have it over here. Okay. And in that case, if you're thinking of this kind of area, then we also have an octave lower there. Okay, so I will remove that. All right, so let's keep going here. So we have, we're going to move this note to the, this is A, we're going to move it down. Now the minor chords are pretty comfortable to play in either spot. So sometimes you might play the flat third back here. The major third tends to be a little more of a stretch in some spots. But I'm going to move this down to the 5th string because it's pretty comfortable to play it there. Not really any stretching. Okay, and so that's where it's located between these two notes. And then let's put one above. All right, so we've got that there. All right, and again, we will move this note here down to the 6th string. All right, and so that's where the flat third lays in between those two octave shapes, or those two extremes of that octave shape. All right, and then we can put one above the higher note of the octave shape of A. Okay, so the flat third is the C here. All right, and then let's add one more of these just so we can see a position. So this position we have the two full octaves. Okay, so I'll remove that again. Okay, and then let's move this note to the fourth string. Okay, and then we have this note. I'm going to shift this over just a little bit. Okay, and then we can find this here on this fret, which is what, 15, 17, 19, 20. Okay, so we find that. So we move this note over here and this one over to here. And then let's find that note above the octave shape. And in this position we have two octave shapes. And then this note here. All right, so those are the 7 octave shapes with the flat third. So we're getting comfortable with those distances. I'm just going to move this down 1 octave because it may be a little bit difficult to practice up there. I'm just going to move this down here so you can see it down in this area. Okay, and again, if we shuffle this around, maybe I'll reveal, kind of back up here a little bit. I'll remove this one, and we'll look at the previous one as well because that was getting up pretty high. But we did talk about this when we first started. So, but we basically have come full circle on it. So we went through all the 5 positions and the 7 octave shapes there. All right, so let's kind of put it all together and see the bigger picture of this. Okay, so just like this, we had this one here. We had a note up here, down here. Okay, so fill in all the spots. So rather than moving things around, you see everything at one time. All right, let's make sure I'm not leaving anything out here, but this here. This, okay, let's note over here. All right, so we're looking pretty good. Since, not sure if this will all make it onto the screen there, but that is what we've got. Let's see, I'll add these notes up here. All right, so so that's kind of the idea. That's how kind of the flat thirds lay out, or the sharp nines lay out on the neck. So now I'm just going to circle some of the some of the areas on the neck that we're talking about here. So let's see, so we've got this spot. Okay, so that's an area of the neck. And then we're going to overlap here a little bit. Okay, then we've got that spot there. All right, this one, 7th position. Okay, we've got about here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here we go. And then we've got this one. So you'll usually find yourself somewhere within one of these spots, and they all kind of overlap or share some notes from the opposite side. All right, so let's just talk a little bit about some chords you could apply this to. So if we have a 5th, this is how the minor chord will lay out. If you have a flat 5, this is how the diminished triad will lay out. Now, if you have a, let's go back to the 5th here. So here we have minor 7. Okay, so you can apply this to minor major 7 as well. Okay, minor 7, flat 5. Fully diminished or diminished 7. Okay, minor pentatonic scales as well. So missing something here. 5. Okay, you can also have a minor 6 sound here, which I didn't talk about that, but that would be kind of a pentatonic scale with a 6 rather than the flat 7. So that's kind of coming out of the dominant pentatonic scale. That would be starting on the 4 here, the D in this case. Okay, so oh yeah, so I'm backing up here a little bit. So yeah, I forgot to mention minor 6 chord. Okay, so that would be good to do. And also another pentatonic to think about out of the dominant pentatonic again. This is a pentatonic scale that works really well on half diminished chords or arpeggios. So yeah, so if we have a minor 7 sound, this works well. Basically, if okay, we've added. So this is the half diminished chord or arpeggio here, and we just added the flat 6 to that, or flat 13. All right, so so definitely extremely useful, and just kind of internalizing again. The whole goal here is to internalize what where the flat third is in its relationship on the guitar to all these root notes. All right, and again, we want to learn these in different keys, so I'll just kind of shuffle around here, keys or chord, whatever you're using them for. So we have D, G, C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, C sharp, oftentimes minor, but okay, F sharp minor, B minor, E minor, A minor. All right, so yeah, that's a look at the flat third or sharp nine, and how it lays out on the neck related to the root note. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. I've got a lot of things going out and on the channel, and I've got over 500 videos now. A lot of them are short ones, but learning to play tunes. Early on I had a series on sort of improv lines, just kind of um, some ideas for improvising and learning to shape melodic line. All right, well, thanks again for watching. I hope you have a great practice session.